You've just found a new hobby. Let's say it's cooking. Imagine yourself at the start of this journey. You're in the kitchen, fumbling around with the spice rack while the smoke alarm is sounding off in the background. But you end up with a meal that's not half bad. Now picture yourself somewhere in the middle of your cooking journey. You've had a long day at work, you want to unwind. So you put on some music and you try a variant of a recipe that you've practiced for a few months. Now we'll fast forward to the end of your journey with this particular hobby. Maybe you're so good at cooking that you're the go-to grill master at every neighborhood barbecue. Toastmasters, hobbies are intrinsically rewarding, whether you're a beginner, a competent amateur, or a master. And as someone who chronically starts many projects and finishes only some of them, I have some experience in the hobby of dabbling with hobbies. Tonight, I want to help you think about the life cycle of a hobby so you can find one that adds richness to your life. The first step, of course, is to pick something to get into. If you're at a loss for ideas, consider getting back into an old hobby of yours. Otherwise, just look for anything that draws your interest or attention. Reading is an easy hobby to add for this reason, because I can guarantee there is a genre for you. However, you can also try to learn more about something that bothers you. I got into movies because I was frustrated that nobody had explained the point of art to me. To approach a hobby in this way, think of it like an experiment. You're going to temporarily immerse yourself in a world that's unfamiliar to you. And when you're done, you can reflect on what you've learned and decide whether it's valuable or not afterward. Finally, you can take up a hobby because you know it's good for you. Skills like first aid, cooking, driving, exercising, these can all be inherently fun, but I initially got into them because they were practical and I knew they would be good for everyday situations and my own health. At the end of the day, you get into a hobby because you're aware of it and it speaks to you somehow. If you keep your perspective broad and look at what other people find engaging, you're likely to find a compelling activity yourself. The second step is getting into a beginner's mindset. Even if you think you know a little about the area that you're getting into, it's easiest to erase any preconceived notions you have, especially if it has to do with knowing the terms for tools and techniques or the names of famous people in this field. It's okay if you don't know specific terms, and I would ignore people who gatekeep hobbies by using convoluted words. If you're interested in academic subjects like philosophy or math or science, you might encounter this. So instead, focus on the simplest goal you can think of and find a resource that will help you get there if you're lost. For example, I learned how to Rubik's Cube last summer by slowly following a video explaining the basic algorithms. Or if you're into cooking, just start by following recipes. A beginner's job is to learn what's already been established and practice basic skills. At this stage, I would also not worry about equipment. Get the cheapest stuff you need to start your hobby. If you get better, you can upgrade them. At this point, it's also helpful to give your hobby some support structure. If you need to cut back on other hobbies to give this new one a chance to grow, then do so. Getting an accountability partner, a coach, or a group, such as Toastmasters, can also make you feel like you got friends who are invested in your hobby as much as you are. The third step is to keep the habit up. Since hobbies come down to how much time you dedicate to them, they will only stick around as long as you make space for them. So keep to it for a few weeks or month. That way, if you do end up sidelining your hobby a bit, it won't take too much to get back into a familiar rhythm that you've developed. I like to think about this part as inviting the hobby into your life more fully, turning it from an acquaintance to a friend. Finally, how far you go with hobby is up to you. As soon as I could solve a Rubik's Cube, I had little interest in going further with it. On the other hand, I'm always working on becoming a better cook, a better reader, a better speaker, because I find these really rewarding, and I find that they're good life skills to have. Toastmasters, hobbies help us balance our life while providing us with valuable skills. I'm sure each of you has a diverse set of interests, and I would love to hear more about it. If you're looking for a speech idea, I would encourage you to tell us a story about one of your hobbies, or find one, get into it, and tell us how it goes. Thank you.